Welcome, one and all. We are doing something a little different tonight, and we're starting at 8:30 instead of 9 o'clock. So, trying to make a few changes around here. What'd you think of the new music? Feel free to comment while I welcome everybody in chat. Grish is driving again, 7 hours today. We'll be listening. Very nice. Be safe. And David is here. Welcome. Grish beat you again. Somehow I still got the number one spot. Unbelievable. I'm trying to keep my spot by commenting. Well, hey. This feels early. Yes, it does. But part of what I'm discovering about middle age is that, especially in the summers when it's hot, I find myself up earlier and wanting to go to sleep earlier. So I'm trying to adapt my schedule so that I can do this and be productive still. So it's been an interesting few days. I had a relatively good week at work until Thursday. We were getting ready to leave on Thursday, and I started feeling very, very nauseous, and ended up vomiting before I went home. And then it was just lather, rinse, repeat most of that night. I did not go into work on Friday. A coworker of mine had some sort of stomach bug at the beginning of the week, and so I suspect that I picked up whatever she had. So I was sort of down and out all day Friday, and until about 4 o'clock yesterday, 3, 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon, I started to perk up a bit. I didn't even leave the apartment until after 3 o'clock today, and I just went to the little local grocery store to pick up a few groceries to keep me going, because my appetite hasn't been very big all weekend, and it's just trying to figure out what is agreeing with my stomach at this point. So far, I've had no issues today, and I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful that we've got 5 people watching tonight. Let's see. Alonzo is here. Welcome. How'd you take my number one? Line cutter has to be. Hey, David. I have no idea. I would love to be middle age again. Yeah. What do they consider middle age these days? 40 to 55. So I'm the end is in sight of middle age, I guess. You are a crown thief. Don't worry, we all go through that. Yep. Well, hopefully things continue to be all right tonight. I was going to add a video clip before this started, and I never uploaded it. So let me see if I can do that right now. I don't think that went where I wanted it to go. Nope, it did not. So this needs to go. $20.25. All right, we can upload it from there. All right, so contrary to most evenings, I do have a little bit of a plan tonight. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to open up another terminal window, and I don't think I've got my Rectangle app running. So one complaint that I hear from Windows users about the window snapping on Mac OS is that it's not, what's built in is not very good. So this utility aims to remedy that issue. It's called Rectangle. It's a free utility. And I haven't learned the keyboard shortcuts yet, but you can do center half, you can do top left, so the like postage stamp type things. So say we want to do top right on that one, and if we open up, I don't know, local send, say we want to put this one in the bottom right corner. So with Rectangle, yes, it is an add-on. It's a free piece of software, but it does give you very Windows-like window snapping. So that's kind of a cool thing that I wanted to touch on tonight, just because I spend a good chunk of time in Mac OS, and might as well make the tools you use work for you. And if that means adding third-party tools, well, hey, it's no different than those, to quote Clint Eastwood, those zipper heads that will put a big fat glass pack muffler on a Honda or a Hyundai or Subaru, right? Um, you know, regardless of what your uh, tool of choice is, chances are you're going to have some sort of aftermarket add-on, so to speak, to make it work a little more the way you dreamt it in your head, right? So anyway, I found Rectangle a while back. I've not ever really mentioned it in a video. And as I was going through trying to plan, oh yeah, it would help if I were actually showing that on screen. So we can make this like right half, or we can make it top right. And then we've got local send. We could put this in the bottom left, put the terminal in the bottom right. And again, it lists out all your keyboard shortcuts. And it's kind of an interesting utility to work with, right? So now I just got to memorize all these shortcuts, right? Which you get into middle age and it's easier said than done. So age 69 is buy a plot quickly. Well, I know there's one open space on the family plot, so I'm okay. I'm covered on that already. Zipper heads ruin everything. Yes. And for any of those wondering, I am referring to the Clint Eastwood movie Gran Torino. So, anyways, his words, not mine. Please don't take offense to them. I need to get my M1 Grand and get everything straight again. Oh my. All right. So we covered a little bit of Mac OS. So my second topic for tonight, and hopefully I don't go through these too quickly. Let's see. I believe it's nope, not that one. Yes, that one. Let's see. Storage local. What error view? Storage local does not support content type ISO. Okay. Oh. Okay. I know what I did. Okay. Well, let's use this terminal. We are going to SSH into okay. So Brandon Lee over on the virtualization how-to channel a few days ago published a video on Prox Menu X. So I've got that installed on this particular Proxmox machine. And what this gives you is a menu-driven access to shortcuts for commands that you would normally have to memorize and type in to the Proxmox terminal. So, for instance, the first menu has post-installation customizations, right? There's a customizable script. There's the Proxmox VE post install from helper scripts. There's the Xshock Proxmox post install, uninstall tools. So we can look at those. No uninstallable tools detected. Cool. We can cancel to go back to main menu. Help and info commands. So useful system commands. And my apology about the color scheme, but I wanted to leave HTOP running in the other window. So you can run things like, let's do 23 for fast fetch. Fast fetch not installed. Run apt install fast fetch. Cool. 18 shows who. Shows me as root logged in on PTS0 from the IP address of my Mac Mini. That's all great. 15 will give us uptime. And, you know, it's just, some of these are just quick ways to get to things and be able to execute. So for this one, virtual machine and container management commands. So I need to do a little cleanup. So we're going to go to QM list. And so it lists all the virtual machines that I've got installed on this machine. So for instance, we are going to get rid of 339. So we'll do number 9 and we'll enter 339. Press enter to continue. And then if we go to QM list again, we can see 339 is already gone. We also need to get rid of 333. So again, we'll go to 9, 333. Enter to continue. And we can list again, and we can see that both of those are gone. So, what else? Storage and disk commands. So, we could do, say, number 7. Mount is using 404 gigs. We could do 16, which shows the different disks. So maybe we want to do mount PVE PVE02 store. So we'll do 7 again and paste in our path, and that's using 292 gigs. So go back to 0. So we looked at storage and disks. There are network commands, show configured network bridges, reload network configuration, show Ethernet device info, all this good stuff. Compile firewall rules for all nodes. Pretty useful things going on here. Updates and package commands. Well, we might want to do number 5, apt auto remove purge. 0 upgraded, 0 newly installed, 0 to remove, 0 not upgraded. So we are good to go on that. But one of the cool things, if we come back to 0 here, create virtual machine from template or script. So one of the things this will do is let you install different NAS systems. You may have seen, if we jump back over here, I can start this back up again. I did install a version of Synology DSM as a VM using this tool earlier today. So we'll let that start up and we'll jump back over here. One of the things that I wanted to play around with, and I did fail on this earlier, but I wanted to try this again tonight during the live stream, is to install Zima OS. Now we've looked at Casa OS. But Zima OS is the version that Ice Whale ships with their devices, right? So it's got a few more features. So we want just freak. Okay, so we're going to create virtual machine 337 with the name, volume, memory cores, and image specified. We'll say yes, and it will start doing its thing. So we'll give that a few minutes, and in the meantime, I will pop on screen, full screen, and see what's what.
Hey, Josephus!
All right. Subscribers are moving up. Yes, sir, they are. They issued me one to drill with when I was in the Air Force Academy, then took it back and welded a part in the barrel when a second-class cadet shot himself with his. Oh, for crying out loud. DB Tech, welcome. Thanks for stopping in. Weekend has got better today. I spent the first part of the weekend a little under the weather, but I'm on the mend now. So thank you for stopping in. Much appreciated. All right. So if we jump back over here, it is currently extracting the image. And this is the same problem I ran into earlier. Unable to parse volume file name VM337 disk 0. So I am not sure why this is failing. But if we jump back over here, nope, not there. If we jump back over here, this is where I wanted to go. What username did I use on this? Hey, I remembered. So this is the virtual Synology DSM. Now, I actually know now why I shut this down earlier. So we need to go ahead and shut this down again. And I'll explain as we go along what is happening. So I added, when I set up this virtual machine, I added 2 drives. So of course, one is being used as the boot drive, and the second one would be the first storage drive. So I want to have at least a pair of drives on this. So we need to go to hardware, and we're going to add a hard disk. We're going to call this SATA 2. We're going to put it on PVE02 store, 32 gigs. Disk card, we're going to do SSD emulation, and we're going to go back to SATA 1. We're going to edit that and make sure we've got SSD emulation and disk card turned on for that as well. Now, if we go ahead and restart this, then at least I'm working with a pair of virtual disks to set up the Synology RAID. Now, this is purposely being done very quick and dirty. And I'd only ever use this for testing purposes. I would not store any data on this. Any data that I am concerned about. So we'll come back here and we'll see how soon this comes back up. In the meantime, come back here. I just turned the big Synology on for the first time since the power outage. So right before the stream started. So I wanted to jump in here and see what kind of crazy messages they had for me. Probably just a bunch of things that are outdated, and you can probably address most of that by coming in here and Active Insight, SAN Manager, SMB Service, Synology Application Service, Synology Photos. We can upgrade those all in one batch and then see if okay. Well, that's not what I did. Whoopsie. think that's what I did. No. Okay. There we go. So I did, in fact, use the same. This system has detected a drive 3 that is not in use. Go to storage manager to manage this drive. So drive has detected 3 drives that are not in use. So what do we got? Manage available drives, create storage pool, start. So this is Synology Hybrid RAID. You could also use RAID 1, Basic, JBOD, or RAID 0. So we can do this. Say next. Drives 2 and 3. Next. We'll skip the drive check. Volume description. Test. And Btrfs is recommended. I'm not going to encrypt it at this point in time. And we'll say apply and OK. So in any event, this is going to create my little storage pool. And then you can go through just like you would on a physical machine and create your volumes and all that fun stuff. So looks like need to continue this. And so that looks like it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Let's see. Sorry for not appearing sympathetic, but I went all out getting accepted only to be sent home after 1 year by getting a D in English comp. Then to hear that someone with a 3.4 GPA must be they're the ones that had the accident, unless it was on purpose. Decides to go out. Get out by using unauthorized round because his girlfriend was mad at him and would not answer his phone call. Oh, for crying out loud. We as men have to do better. We've got to stop putting the punani up on a pedestal. But hey, I guess we've all got our demons to some extent, right? All right, so we are 34 minutes in. Let me get to the right tab and we'll take a look at current status of the channel. Oh, and we added another subscriber. Well, would you look at that? So we're at 7,319 subscribers as of right now. I'm just trying to, guess that's not going to get the current video up here. And we're not doing great on revenue this month. Last month and this month have both been slow. I have spent more time working on a larger project, which has meant fewer shorter videos have come out. But anyway, it's all good there. So while we've got the browser open, Prox menu X, interactive menu for Proxmox. So we go to their website and install now. It's just a simple bash script. And yes, people, I would highly recommend that you just do the wget portion first, which will not execute it, and take a look through the shell code before you run it, just for your own peace of mind, so you can, in fact, say that you have done your due diligence and taken a look at the code. In fact, you could pump it into ChatGPT or whatever local large language model you prefer to run. And, you know, just get a rundown summary of it that way as well. But yeah, this is a nice little script. I'm curious to see. I actually want to go ahead and run this on the server that I've recently reinstalled. And we'll do this right from the shell here. And it's very simple. Do you want to proceed with installation? Yes. So checking dependencies, it's looking for anything it needs to install. It's doing a virtual environment for Python to help with translations if needed. And then loading stuff for Google Translate and downloading any other necessary files. And then it tells you to run it, just type menu. And so again, we are going to be presented with language. And I am just wanting to see if we have any better luck with the Zima OS VM on this machine. We'll do VM 900. Zima PVE 01. And we are going to do, oops. PVE VMS2, VMs 2. That sounds good. And we'll see if this gives us the same error that the other machine does. Doesn't hurt to try, right? Extracting the image. All right, let's see. That was 51 years ago, but I have it stuck in my mind. By the way, I meant to type vodka, not vodka. Yes. If everyone could, in fact, hit the like button. Let me find this stupid thing. I swear YouTube is like the first place that I've really embraced my last name and tried to use it for my own advantage to get ahead. Not that it carries a lot of weight anywhere else, but hey, why not, right? For some reason, my revenue has risen the last month. I have no clue why. Interesting. Okay, so this is interesting here. Unable to parse volume file name VM900-disk-0. So either I'm doing something wrong or this script is borked. Because, oops, sorry. Because that's two different machines that I got the same exact error on. Now, it did in fact create Zima PVE01. But yeah, this is interesting because if I add an EFI disk, it will let me do it on VMs 2. EFI BIOS is set. Add disk. It's probably I'm going to guess that wants SATA. VMs 2. Discard. SSD emulation. Add. Okay, so let's just for grins, let's try this one more time. We're going to try 900. We'll try to override it. Already exists. All right, well, if all else fails, read the instructions, right? Okay. README 6 months ago. 2 months ago for the Zima Cube or Zima OS version. Create a new VM in Proxmox. Do not use any media. BIOS, UEFI, and choose a EFI storage. Disks, CPU, memory, network. Confirm, finish. Right. Interesting. It does appear to want SATA. I wonder if it's expecting local LVM for this. I don't really want to do that, but I guess it's worth a try. It might be worth filing a bug in the script if that actually works. Local-LVM has plenty of space. All right, so let's try running this again. We'll do 901. We'll do local LVM. I mean, let's just see. Let's just see. So it's extracting the image. Gave it the same amount of RAM, but I gave it more cores this time. I suspect it's going to fail again, but we might get lucky. I mean, it's possible. I have to find the time to set up Proxmox. Yeah, it's not bad to do, Alonzo. It's pretty simple. If you've installed like a Debian Linux before, installing Proxmox won't be very difficult at all. Oh, would you look at that? Oops. Would you imagine that? Okay. Okay, so it does not have guest agent installed. So any Zima client. Okay, well, we're not going to do that. I hate having proprietary tools recommended. And so we'll see what good old Angry IP Scanner spits back to us. Hey, look at that. ZimaCube.local on 217. Ooh. Welcome to ZimaCube. Accept the privacy policy. All right, we'll just minimize that for now. All right, create local account. Sure, we'll save that. Introducing Zima OS. Combine hard drives, manage assets and data. Merge own apps. Start from files. Okay. Mounted as local disk. Well, that's cool. I don't want to download an agent right now. That's cool. Zima dashboard. Smart connector. This definitely feels more full featured than Casa OS. Remote access. The globe. And peer drop, which I'm assuming is like airdrop or local send. And I don't want to download the client. Thank you very much. All right, so we've got admin, shared folder account, general, search engine is DuckDuckGo, standby is set to never, news feed, power light, we don't need that toggled on, storage, and so we've got just the single disk, which is fine. We can go back and add extra storage disks later. Ports. Wow, this is a lot more fleshed out than Casa OS. Apps. Wow. Let's see. The App Store. 324 apps available. It's got Big Bear Tech World added as an extra. And so there's others available as well, which may or may not give you different options. It does not have PAPRA yet, which is a relatively new document management system that I'm kind of itching to try out. I just haven't taken the time to set it up on a regular Docker system. So yeah, there are lots and lots of things on here that could be interesting to play with, right? So, install the Zima client for remote access. Okay, that's fine. We don't need remote access because we're not going to access remotely. So those appear to do the same thing. Shared folder account. Okay, so you can create other accounts for shared folders. And you can change your avatar. Apparently that's the only one they give you by default, which I guess is fine. Yeah, I'm going to absolutely be playing with this a little bit more. I do want to see, now that this is installed and actually running, if I can move the disk from where I've got it right now to one of the other disks that I have available on the system, just to have extra breathing room, right? Because this is a very small disk. So Why don't we just go ahead and shut her down now? And we can always take a look in another video. So let me take a look at my notes. So we talked about Proxmox or Prox Menu X. We actually installed it on my main or my newly reinstalled Proxmox server. The second node I still need to reinstall and add additional disks. So that will be coming at some point relatively soon. The website for that I can put in chat. And I have failed to do so up to this point. That didn't do what I wanted it to. Try that. Nope. So I have to do it this way. There it goes. I have 2.7 JAUs of driving left. How many JAUs do you plan on streaming for? We're coming up on the 1 JAU mark. I may go for one additional. But if I'm going to do that, I'm going to need to take a brief intermission and go get a different beverage. Try live migration of a disk. Okay, so let's come back here. So what I want to do is if we come back to Proxmox, Zima test hardware. So currently that's on local LVM. We want to take that and we want to do disk action, move storage. We want to move it to VMs 2. And let's live dangerously and delete source. Move disk. I mean, nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 2 additional disks. And let's say to 0. So we're going to add hard disk. VMs 2. We're going to do these as 60s. And we're going to add another one. VMs 2, 60. Okay, so now and just for grins, let's move the EFI storage over to VMs 2 as well. Right? I mean, what's the worst that could happen? We just bork the system, which we've done nothing with really yet. So well, it appears to be booting. All right. Well, All right, look at that. Storage. Interesting that it put it in discs 3 and 4. Create RAID. So RAID 1, minimum disk 2, max capacity 50%. So let's do RAID 1. Why not? Use recommended option. Hey, imagine that. Next. Storage name. Zima Store. Initiate RAID creation. Create. All right, so that may take a minute. Let's see. So we can check that off the list. Well, so Kevin, lately I've been drinking screwdrivers. I just happened to buy a fresh bottle of vodka today. So I've had the OJ in my refrigerator for a week and a half, unopened, and I just happened to pick up the vodka today. So I will bring a bottle of orange juice and the bottle of vodka into the office, and we can continue forward. Did that really create that fast? Okay. Well then. So you can do virtual machines on Zima OS. I'm not sure what that is running for a VM manager. It looks interesting. Looks very similar to UTM on Mac OS. Let's see, settings. So that's just another trigger for what we've got up here with the cogwheel. So yeah. Oh, we've got an update available. Well, what happens if we run the update? Zima OS has been downloaded 300,000 times, and the number of Discord users has reached 27,000. New scheduled shutdown function. Files adds folder size statistics. Files has a new left column and address bar design, and right-click folders to add star folders. Okay. Stuff for Zima board 2. Optimized decompression process. Sure. What the heck? Thought all of you forgot the official world standard of a JAU, reminding you all. You're welcome.
Josephus.
I love screwdrivers. Have you tried vodka and Tang? Pretty good. I have not. I don't think I've had Tang in probably 30 years. Maybe longer. I could be wrong. Okay, so I am going to go to intermission for a few minutes just because I need to get up and move around if I'm going to be sitting here for another hour. Let me go get beverage things, and I will be back. All right, we're back, and we will continue on until 2 hour mark, anyways. All right, so we were running the update on Zima OS. And hey, we've got the latest update installed. Good deal there. We look at files. Ooh, isn't that pretty? Zima OS HD, Zima Store, which is going to be our 2-drive array that we built. And I wonder if it will let us move these migrate. Select destination. So if we put this in Zima store, conflict, skip. There are no files, so it shouldn't be an issue. View report successful. So yeah, we're starting right in customizing stuff apparently. I mean, it's a VM. We might as well beat on it just to, kick the tires and all. So if we do get info, well, this which one was it that I selected? Zima OS HD. All right, so okay, backup is in fact over there. So interesting. I suspected that it was going to actually move it. Migrate. Current folder is being used by pin. Continuing migration may have an impact on it. So what is the pin? Unstar? Is that what they consider a pin? Migrate. Current folder is being used by user data. Continuing the migration may have an impact on it. Okay, well, I don't want to completely bork the system, so we'll leave this well enough alone. We'll star that one, and we'll say migrate, and we'll migrate that back to Zima HD. Okay. So on Zima store, we can just get rid of this. Okay. We'll leave well enough alone, and hopefully that didn't break anything in the process. But hey, this is kind of cool. Definitely a little nicer than Casa OS, if I'm honest. Keep losing access to Zima Cube after 24 hour. Interesting. So yeah, I guess we've covered that part. Okay, so the last thing I really had to touch on, bring myself back on. Revamping the JAU. Going to have our first heat wave this week in Connecticut. Oh, we've got a heat advisory that has been in effect since yesterday and through 8 p.m. tomorrow, which I think is going to be interesting because tomorrow the library is scheduled to have a new air conditioning unit put in because one of ours is taking the royal crap on us. So hopefully they can get that installed as early in the morning as possible and we can actually get the building cooled off before there are a bunch of people coming in trying to get cool from the heat. Yeah. Just came back from Texas. One word, hot. Well, what do they call that in Texas? Hot with a chance of ice? I feel like you're going to have a day off tomorrow. Well, if that's going to happen, there has not been any announcement of it yet from the boss lady. So, all right. We'll see what she has to say in the morning, I guess. But unless I hear otherwise by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, I'm planning on leaving at 9 to go into work. And yeah. It will be once the new AC can't cool fast enough. Right. Well, on the bright side, I don't have to work out in the main library area tomorrow. I get to stay in the staff section, and that's the air conditioner that got replaced 2 years ago. So this is for the patron side of things. But I agree it makes little sense to keep the place open and keep all the staff there if the AC on the patron side is not going to be able to keep up. Doesn't make sense to me. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I could look. Well, if she's made a decision already, she has not posted it to the website. Let's see if I log into Facebook. No, I'm not a robot, Meta. Thank you very much, idiots. Just went through this earlier today. Yes, it's me, morons. Okay. Eaton Rapids Library. We do not have any sort of notice posted on fascist book. So I guess I'm all good there. So I guess I'm not going to worry about it too much tonight. All right. Well, guess there's nothing to do there. Builds over there, not made for heat. Something like that. So our problem at the library is that we're in a building that's 140 odd years old, 145 years old, maybe. I suspect it was built somewhere in the mid 1880s. Don't know exactly when, but the building was at one point a car dealership. At one point, it was a grocery store. And then in the late 1960s, it became the library as part of the city. And of course, the city didn't do bupkis to keep the building up or do any significant improvements on it because they all wanted to play a game of kick the can down the road. And that's what they did. And, so it has over the years become somebody else's problem and somebody else's problem and somebody else's problem again. Many times over. And it's catching up. I mean, to the point that the air conditioning units that are at the library are residential units. They're not even commercially rated, which, hey, but at least with the with one of them being replaced 2 years ago and the other one being replaced tomorrow, hopefully, we will be in good shape for a number of years until we can get the bond passed and either renovate this building or move to a different building. And there's nothing I can say further on that subject at this point in time. But yeah. Okay, so it's central air. Mini splits weren't even a thing when when the air conditioners were originally put in. At least not around this area. Okay, so something else I came across. Maybe I've mentioned this before. So there is a company now that is doing, it's not Apple, that is doing a MacBook upgrade program. So this service called Upgraded is, it allows you to finance at as low as 0% APR with a firm. I guess it's Gator Tech, and they're a partner, an Apple partner. So I wish they did something like this for like a Mac Mini or a Mac Studio, because I would upgrade in a heartbeat on a program like this. But I don't find myself using my laptops enough to warrant spending Apple money on them, right? But I did find it interesting that if I went to shop and say I wanted the 15-inch MacBook Air M4 in midnight black, 24 gigs of RAM and half a gig or half a terabyte of storage, rather. And so you've got from $50.78 a month for 36 months. So after 24 months, you can trade in the MacBook you've been using for the newer model, or you can pay the remaining year of payments and own it outright. Which, you know, if you are in a position where you're using a MacBook on the go for business purposes, this could be a decent deal to keep you in an updated system. So if you go up to 32 gigs and a terabyte of storage, then you're looking at $62 a month, basically. And that is providing that you qualify for 0% APR. And that works out to be $19.99, same as the one-time payment. Obviously, taxes are calculated at checkout based on your address, right? So myself, I'm sort of torn. I've always had MacBook Pros. But here's the rub. My eyesight isn't getting any better the older I get, right? So you know, I would consider going, if I were going to get a new Mac laptop, I would consider going up to, you know, the 16-inch M4 Max. We'll go center. That comes with 36 gigs of unified memory, a terabyte of solid state storage, and that's $109, just over $108 a month, and you're looking at a good chunk of change, right? $34.99 if you pay in full today, or $38.98 total if you finance. But again, after 24 months, you can trade in for a newer model. I'm assuming a newer equivalent model, and keep the payment relatively the same. So, you know, it's I'm sort of torn on it because always had the 13-inch MacBook Pros. I mean, going up to a 14-inch would be a little bit bigger. Let's say we went to 1 terabyte, even if we go middle of the road and we're going 14 core CPU, 20 core GPU, that gets 24 gigs base, or you could bump it up to 48 gigs of RAM for $90 a month. I mean, that's decent. I mean, at that point, the MacBook Pro would be faster than the M1 Mac Mini, and would certainly blaze through the editing I do. So, okay, let's bring me back on for a minute. I had prepared a little clip here that I recorded earlier today. Um, I initially recorded the clip for use for the library. I've tweaked it a lot for use for tonight's broadcast. So I'm going to go ahead and roll this, and I will be ducking out for a moment. And this should play right from StreamYard. So we'll see how this does. I'd like to introduce you to Everything Search. Everything Search is a utility that's free, and you don't even have to install it if you don't want to. For the demonstration today, we're going to download the portable zip file version of Everything Search. We can reveal the location, right click and extract it. We can go into the folder, and if we double click everything.exe, in this case we're just going to run as administrator. I'm currently logged in as an administrator, so we're going to say yes. Allow to make changes to your device, yes. It opens up with its own window, and it searches your storage drive, your hard drive or solid state drive. As you can see, there are bunches and bunches of files it's turned back. So if we wanted to search, for example, for JPEG files, we could do star.jpg or star.jpg, and very quickly it turns back a list of all the JPEG files on the system. So if we want to double click on this, it will go ahead and open up that file. Another search you may want to do is star.iso if you're working with ISO files. And you can see I've got a few listed here. You may want document files, star.docx. I don't have any docx files, but I do have a few doc files. Or if you're using LibreOffice or OpenOffice, ODT files. I don't currently have any saved, but that's all right. In any event, this utility goes a long way to making search on the Windows platform a little quicker and maintains the ease of use of the built-in search functionality. Now, there are other things you can do with Everything Search, and that's beyond the scope of today's video. This will at least get you started. This tool is available from Void Tools. That's VOIDTOOLS.com. And you can download the version that is right for your system. Okay. So that was me having a little fun with Camtasia this afternoon. That's probably one of the more complex videos I've done with Camtasia. I put in the captions. I put in the call out for the website and drew the purple box around it. Excuse me, which is just a built-in animation, resizable animation that's comes with Camtasia. I'm sure there are other things I could have done with it, but you know, sometimes less is more. Anyways, the one downside I have seen of Everything Search is that it does not seem to be multi-user respecting. Some people have complained about that. I think the developers are working on it so that, you know, it doesn't index the whole storage drive, but, you know, will index a user's folder structure. So, you know, but it is quick, and it puts the Windows search to shame in a major spanking. So you know, it's a pretty cool tool, and you know, it's one that I've had on my list to share, but up to this point I haven't really done so. So here it is tonight. I've been digging the Power Toy search thing, works well for me. Nice. willing to give that one a shot. Yeah, I believe it's available in Winget as well. Let me see. Oops. Well, okay. Guess I'm not having any luck finding that. So I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, everything search is pretty cool for a Windows application. I've actually used it on my computer at the library because it has made finding some things a whole lot quicker than using the built-in search functionality. Usually I can find my files pretty well, but there was something I was looking for recently that I could not fathom what the heck I did with it. I've been using everything for years. It makes a big difference when it's not searching metadata like the lame search engine that comes with Windows. Yes, you're absolutely correct. So yeah, that was my little clip. Oh, the other thing I did to that video clip, well, a couple of other things. One, I put music on it. Hopefully the it wasn't too distracting. I think I had it down to 10%. And I sped the whole clip up to 1 1/4 speed. And I don't think it really distorted my voice too badly, but I mean, to my ear, I could still tell it was my voice, but you know, if that's going to work to get my pacing better on my videos, then I'm willing to do that and, try to adjust my pitch, my voice pitch somehow in post if it comes to it. After doing the speed up, then trying to recalibrate the pitch of my voice. But I know there have been several people that have commented about the pacing of my videos. I've done a lot of work the last couple of years trying to cut out gaps, the ums and ahs and things of that nature. And, so the next logical progression in my head is doing an overall speed up on the video and just try to make it sound as normal as possible compared to my normal speaking voice. So I'm okay with it. We'll see if anybody else notices or cares. But the chances of people watching that clip in a live stream playback that's going to be 2 hours and 5 minutes long, maybe, probably pretty low. So anyway, other than that, I don't have a lot to report here. It has been very hot this weekend, which was fine because all of Friday I spent pretty much between my bedroom, the bathroom, and my recliner chair. Yesterday, until 3 or 4 o'clock, I was pretty mellow, low key. Didn't get a whole lot done yesterday. I did a load of laundry yesterday, 1 load of laundry yesterday, and that was about as much energy as I really had to work with. You know, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if we get a little bit of a break. It looks like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and potentially Friday, it's going to rain here. So uh, next weekend, I'll get to mow all the weeds in the backyard because the guy that was doing the deck and demolition on the old garage never bothered to seed that last fall. So it's all weeds right now. I just don't want trees growing out there, right? So I guess I'm open to any other um, questions, comments, um, topic suggestions. I mean, I'm kind of doing a quick run through to see what, if anything else is interesting to talk about in the news stuff from today. Um, as I'm going to plan tomorrow night to work on midweek news and hopefully get that out on Wednesday. The fog video is, since I was down all of Friday and most of yesterday, it's hit a wall. There's stuff I've got recorded that needs to be edited. There's stuff that needs to be recorded yet. There's stuff that needs to be re-recorded because I'm not happy with it. And then the big editing project begins. So we are, let's see. Today is the 22nd. So at this point, if the video comes out in June yet, it's probably going to be Friday or Monday of next week, with the 30th. It's not what I wanted to have happen, but in order to do it justice the way I wanted to, and considering that I just switched to a new video editor about a month ago, I've been wanting to spend a few extra hours on this video, tweaking things and making it a little more engaging, a little easier to find the information that's needed. So I'm spending, I will be spending a lot of extra time doing manual book chapters and things on it, so that I can get it out, and hopefully have it be, the definitive fog video on my channel until 1.6 comes out of beta. How's Camtasia overall? Would you recommend? Camtasia is great for corporate training videos, for how-to videos where you want to do sort of masks on parts of the screen, and so only part of the screen is fully lit to draw attention, as opposed to doing zooms. It lets you do all kinds of cool things with cursor effects. But again, it depends what you want to use the editor for. If I were going to do, cat videos, then no, I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't use Camtasia. I would probably stick with whatever free stuff I could get But the compelling thing for me on this was the backgrounds and all the media assets that you get with the plan I got. In addition to the cursor effects, the little animations that they give you built in, easy to drop onto a project and configure. And so, it's for the type of videos that I make, it's a great fit. Do I wish there were a native Linux version? Yes, absolutely. Did I find out, you might be asking? I think I talked last week about an issue I had with using the web version of Camtasia, the Camtasia Online, they call it, I guess, on a Linux system to record directly on the Linux system. There was a solution to the problem that I encountered. You had to add, what did they call it? A cursor path object, I believe it was. Give me just a second. I'll load this up. Demo Ubuntu clip. Okay. So if I come back over here. So again, this is one of my projects that I've done with Camtasia. This is a little more involved than most. So you can see my timeline goes all the way up there. Now I can make these a little more compact as well, but so what I had to do on one of these was add, now let's just go to cursor, more cursor effects. So there is a cursor path creator. So you had to drop this cursor effect on the clip. In order, yeah, there it is, cursor path creator. In order for Camtasia to be able to see the path that the cursor was taking, right? And this is all something that's built into their specific file format that they use for recording. So the metadata was there. It was just a matter of using this cursor effect to activate said metadata so that it could be then further acted upon. So if you see here, I've also got cursor glow. Suppose I could stick myself up in the corner, make that just a little bit bigger. I've also got cursor glow enabled. That's as big as I can make that. But so in the clip, you can see that I've got the cursor with a green neon effect to it, right? So anyway, I did solve that issue. It was something that I just missed. But in my defense, I've only been using Camtasia about a month. And so if that's the worst thing I've got to put a ticket in for, I think I'm doing all right. A lot of it is just getting my head wrapped around the options that are available, what Camtasia calls the options that might be different from what I was used to in ScreenFlow. And, just moving forward with it, right? I will say, now that I've sort of got my head wrapped around the way Camtasia works, more or less, this makes a lot more sense than some of the hoops that I had to jump through in ScreenFlow to get similar effects, right? So overall, yes, I would recommend it, with the caveat that it's going to depend on what type of videos you're creating. If you're doing corporate training videos, fine. If you're doing like a marketing video, you could probably get the same or better results in something else. So, it's, I'll just say your mileage may vary, right? All right. We are about 9 minutes away from hitting the 2-hour mark. Cheers. I think this went relatively well tonight. We had a little fun with Zima OS. I've got a virtual DSM Synology appliance going. I'm still not sure why the Zima OS script is tied so tightly to local LVM on Proxmox, but we remedied that situation. It was just an extra step you had to go through, right? Or extra couple of steps. So anyway, yeah, I mean, I like Camtasia. For what I do, it makes sense. We'll use Capture the Concept as an example. I don't know as though you guys would be happy with it for the types of videos you do. Especially if you're already an experienced editor in Premiere or DaVinci or whatever else you might be using. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say you probably at Capture the Concept don't do a lot of like how-to corporate training type videos or stuff for YouTube. If it were something you were doing training videos for internal use, it could be a good tool for that. Again, I don't know, but between you and the rest of the staff, you've probably got way more years than I've got in editing experience, and can probably do very similar things in another editor. It's interesting. Careful about the exponology thing. Synology is very protective over their intellectual property and strike down videos. Oh. All right. I didn't know that was technically exponology. Because when I installed it, it showed up as DSM. It did not say anything about exponology. So I don't know. I'll keep an eye on this video, and worst case scenario, I cut those sections out and re-upload it. Oh, the bootloader thing that allows you to run DSM. Gotcha. All right. Well, um, that I was not aware of, but I mean, worst case scenario, I pull the video down, I edit out those parts, and I upload an edited video. Not the end of the world. I mean, considering that we're going to have 2 hours worth of footage to work with, and I might be cutting out 15 minutes. Still going to be a long video. I don't think anything will happen since it's not in the title and they won't find it. Yeah, well, I will make sure if I put chapters on this video, I will not even mention it. um, so, and that was part of the reason I didn't like do it right at the beginning of the video. So, I mean, I knew, you know, with the direction that Synology is going, I mean, I would not be surprised if they kill whatever mechanisms are allowing this to happen, even. So, which I mean, it's their product, it's their prerogative, and you know, as long as they're publishing the GPL source code to whatever stuff they're using, then fine. You know, more power to them, right? Yeah, Terrell, we are almost 2 hours in since I started 30 minutes earlier than normal. I figure I'm going to hit about the 2 hour and 5 minute mark, which will make up for my intermission I took. And then I'm probably going to cut this off. I'm going to try to do one more load of laundry and get it in the dryer before I go to bed tonight. But it's been a good stream, I think. Overall, I felt a lot better prepared for this stream than I have for a lot of my previous ones in recent history. And hopefully that will show, and more people will watch it on the replay. So, does anybody have any comments on that? I mean, is this kind of a format that you'd like me to stick closer to? I mean, there's going to be obviously some that are going to be sort of free form, but you know, one of the two streams that I do during the week, I'd like to sort of have notes for, and you know, a little bit better plan than just, you know, throw the spaghetti against the wall and see what sticks. Grish says, yes, this was good. Thank you, sir. I'm waiting on the dryer to throw stuff in the washer. Oh, throw stuff in the washer and the dryer. Gotcha. Got 1.5 JUs left. This streamer helped take the edge off. Oh, the stream. Well, thank you. I hope you have a safe remainder of your drive, and hopefully your final destination is a little cooler than what Texas was, right? And I hope you've got somebody else driving if you're typing, or you've got voice to text or something. But yeah, this was fun, and I think things are starting to come back together. I did spend a little bit of time down on the first floor today. I moved a few things around. I've got a plan for what I want to do with the space downstairs going forward. And, maybe I will hit my goal of getting the other channel launched by July 1st. So it's looking better now than it was at the end of May to launch it June 1st. So I've got a few more things I want to move around, but I think it's doable. Yes, sir. Way cooler. Actually looking forward to it. All right. Well, we're at 2 hours and 2 minutes. Got about 3 minutes left. So if anybody's got questions or comments, and we will take a look. And that's not what I wanted to do. See where we go from here. But I think I'm not promising a stream for Wednesday. Let's just be realistic about this. With being up before 6 a.m. most days recently, doing 9 o'clock streams is not, as we've seen a couple of times now, it's not working out well for me. So at least until we're past the summer and things cool off again to the point I can have windows open, I may be moving the streams back to 8:30 like I did tonight. I may not do a Wednesday stream for a couple of weeks. Hopefully this crazy hot spell will pass. I know we're supposed to have storms Tuesday through Friday. So I don't really want to commit to a stream ahead of time on any of those days until I have a better picture of what the weather is going to do. I'd hate to start a stream and have power go out on me again, and it just goes dark, right? So I'm going to just take a wait and see stance on Wednesday. But what I foresee over the summer, because now that I'm really feeling like I'm getting a good strategy to recording and editing with Camtasia, what I can see more over the summer is Sunday night streams at 8:30, public streams. We may do Wednesday night streams. They may or may not get much of an advance notice if we do them. Part of that's going to depend on weather. But I could see the Wednesday streams going to bi-weekly, sort of opposite the weeks of midweek news. So for instance, this week I've got a midweek news video that should come out on Wednesday. So I may opt to not do the evening streams on Wednesday. Excuse me, and just write out the midweek news video, right? Friday nights, I'm going to shoot for doing member streams. Again, that is probably going to be an every other week type of deal. I do still want to bring in a few more shorts, although I want to do those sparingly. They are not converting very well to watching long form videos. So, I'm just wanting to take a little bit of a step back from doing too many of them for a while. I want to get the number of long form videos up and try to balance out what I'm doing with the live streams. So that's kind of where I'm at right at the moment, and subject to change without notice. I guess that's the prerogative of myself, being the creator of the channel. I guess I can change things up if and when I need to. Part of it's a mental health thing. Part of it's just that it's so doggone hot. I just don't have the energy or patience to do as many long live streams as I've been doing. And so, plus I need to try to get out and mow, which at this point it's looking like Saturday of next week is going to be the next good day to mow. So who knows how all this will go. Did you see that you can install MS Edit on Ubuntu? I did. I still think it's an abomination. I'd rather use Nano myself, but to each his or her own. I feel dirty about installing VS Codium on Ubuntu. I tend not to install PowerShell on Ubuntu. I just don't like to taint my open systems with Microsoft crap. So, yeah. When I left this afternoon to go pick up a few groceries, I got in the car and my car said 103. So yes, I changed where I parked my car because I've got an awning on this side of the building over here. But I tended not to park over there because I've got birds that nest in the light fixture. And so it's either park in the hot sun or park where the birds are going to crap all over my car. But with this heat wave, I'm parking over there and I'll deal with the bird crap. Yes, I really love Nano. It's quick and easy, and yeah. Live stream the backyard cleanup. Well, I suppose that would be a good insurance policy, because if I collapse from heat exhaustion or something, then at least somebody would be able to summon the police or ambulance. The village has not so far, but who knows? They're a bunch of a-holes, so I wouldn't put anything past them. As long as the front lawn is kept nice, then I guess there's not as much of an issue. But yeah, it's pretty high right now. But I only got a mower a week ago, and I thought it was too warm then to mow, but I guess I should have toughed it out. Yeah. I'm not sure. I haven't actually seen the birds out there. I've seen the nest, but no birds. So maybe it's a nest from a previous year. I'm not entirely sure. But honestly, I'm not worried about the clear coat on a 2015 vehicle at this point. I've got no garage to park it in, so if I can park it under a roof and have it out of the direct sunlight, I guess that's better if I don't have to fry myself getting in the car. But today it was hot enough when I got in the car that it was like noticeably hot when I was touching the steering wheel, more than usual. Yeah, I don't think they're quite that age yet, unfortunately. But it's definitely something I've thought about because I don't really want to buy the equipment, and if I end up being down for 2 days because of allergies after mowing, that's exactly what will happen. Because I'm not going to tolerate being out of work just to keep this lawn up. All right, we've actually gone 2 hours and 12 minutes now, so I am going to go ahead and wrap things up. And I will keep everybody posted on whether or not there will be a stream Wednesday night. And hopefully, Midweek News will be out on time on Wednesday. I'm going to work on that tomorrow when I get home from work. So, on that note, everybody have a good night, and I will see you next time.